Hey, it's your girl, Ash Nicole.
It's Moriah.
Yo, it's Coco.
And this is
A Curvy Mindset.
Brought to you by Black Diary Love.
So let's get into the tea today because I'm sure the viewers want to know how we got to where we are. You know, how did you guys know that you wanted to be a model, especially with everything, being skinny washed? How did you have the courage to say, you know what, I can do it too?
For me, I can't even think of her name all the way, but I believe her name is Takara. And she's a model. She was on America's Next Top Model. I started seeing I saw her and I'm just like, wow, I would love to be that. I would love to be like that. And the way that she was able to execute and get her job done regardless of her size, obviously because size does not have nothing to do with if you can model. It's how well you are at executing what's being asked of you. And so that really started the concept for me. And then I think from there over the years, I just ventured out and was like, yeah, this is what I want to do for sure.
Okay, period. What about you, Ash?
I want to say it relates back to when I was in my teenage years.
Okay.
Definitely watching America's Next Top Model was a pivotal point for me. Just watching the art of it all, it really attracted my attention. I got thrills when I would watch how the pictures come out and just how the confidence of the women were. And I wanted to embody that. So I started researching and doing my due diligence, and I was disheartened. It took me back because they said the biggest size you could be was a size 12, and at the time I was a size 18. So it really kind of knocked me down off my square. And then I turned 25 and I got this aha moment. And that same week that I got the aha moment, because I was all glammed up for my birthday, I had 4 or 5 different people ask me, are you a model? Are you a model? I said, I never thought of that. And why did you ask me that? And they just said, you just look like you would model. And so I started doing my due diligence again. And I found a couple plus size models in my community. And I started reaching out to them and doing my research. And I just showed up to a casting one day and there she wrote it. And here I go.
Okay, period. See, I love that about y'all. Y'all so strong. I can't even take it right now.
What about you, Pumpkin?
Me, I don't know. It just, like I said in the last episode, it took me to have to really see myself for who I truly was. Not society standards, not trying to fit society standards. You know, I was like, you know what? I looked in the mirror when I got out the shower one day. I was like, you know what? And then I smiled at myself in the mirror. I was like, oh, you can do it. And even if they tell you you can't, it's always one yes that's going to take you where you need to go. So I said, bump it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to make it. Now look at me. Look at us now.
Yes.
For lack of better words.
Published.
Okay.
We walked the runway. New York Fashion Week. Cali Fashion Week. I mean, come on, baby. Keep on.
Okay.
Accolades.
So what is something that you guys feel is your strengths in the modeling industry? Like some people say, my strength is not really runway. My strengths are print, you know. So for example, what would that be for y'all?
One of my biggest strengths that I actually would have never thought about or see myself doing, but some people just kind of threw it in my face, is like the e-commerce print modeling and stock photos. I'm very good at stock photos. I have a perfectionist system in me. So typically if I'm doing stock photos, it's going to be executed to the best of my ability. I actually didn't get into runway until about 2 years ago myself. But yeah, e-commerce, print, stock photos, that's my lane.
Okay, period. I know for me, a strength for me is everything because I'm a Virgo. We got this. There's nothing we can't do. Anyway, what about you, Ash girl?
I would say I'm just like you, Pumpkin.
Okay.
I think that what stands out about me though is my professionalism. I
Per.
come prepared. I research before I even go. I do what I'm supposed to. I practice daily, and I know that when I step into a building, that I'm going to bring it, and I'm going to bring it 100,000%. You know,
Wow.
you're going to get the whole package. I'm
Okay.
coming. I'm coming prepared. I'm coming to learn. I'm coming to execute. So I do print. I do runway. I do a little bit of it all. So branding, influencing, it is my lane.
Okay. See, that's what I like. That's what I. Oh, I got another question.
Oh, go
See,
ahead, girl.
what what event made you feel like, oh yeah, oh yeah, I didn't kill this whole thing? What
Okay.
event, photo shoot, power shoot, it don't matter. What made you feel I'm really gonna make it in this modeling industry? Like, what made you feel like, for me, honestly, NYFW
Okay.
2.0. Shout out to Renee Bionnet. Hey. And Dime Management. Hey. But girl, I walked my birthday in. Like, it was 12 o'clock and I was walking on the runway, and I thought I wasn't even gonna walk that day. I was like, oh yeah, and I knew I had it in the bag because, one, they made me the first one to go out.
Okay.
I was like, oh snap, I'm scared. And then I knew I had it because everybody started standing up.
Yeah.
Some people like started to stand up and was like, hey. And then they started taking pictures with me outside, and I was like, you know what? I can really do this. So, that's mine. What about you girls?
I would actually say that my very first shoot with a brand that I believed in, when I got picked to be one of the models for that brand,
Yeah.
it really touched me because it was somebody that I watched. I watched from her beginning, which is Sean Denise, Paint by Sean Denise. She is amazing. And when I tell you she's a one-man show, she's a one-man show. She puts together the vision board. She makes the clothes. She embodies what luxury fashion is for plus size women. And if you haven't purchased from her, I promise you, you will not be disappointed, because whenever I tell you professionalism at its highest, even on her worst days, on her down days, she still comes 110%. Like, she's just an amazing person. And when I say I get in her clothes and I feel like a whole brand new woman, baby, you can't go wrong. So that's when I would say that I feel like I wouldn't say made it, but I feel like on this path that I'm going, that was a pivotal moment for me.
Yeah. What about you, Momo?
For me, it would be my first two billboards that were in Florida and Alabama with Mish Dollhouse. And I was one of like the first models to join the company, and she wanted to start something new. So now I think she's like, what, 10 years in with the billboard. It's an annual thing. But when we did it, it was nobody else doing that. So we were like the first ones. We're plus size women. And then I ended up being dead center on the billboard. And so I'm just like, wow, like this is huge. And people would text me, call me like, hey, I saw your billboard. I saw this. Was that you? And I'm just like, yeah, it was.
Of course it's me.
I didn't think nobody would like see it that would actually know who I am. I thought it would be more so strangers, random bystanders. But when that moment hit for me, I was just like, yeah, I'm that girl, period.
I'm that girl. Okay, period.
Yes.
That's what I love to hear, and please believe that we are always going to thrive and continue and always be trendsetters, especially in the plus size community.
Correct.
And if you're thinking about modeling, understand that it's going to have its rough days as well as its good days. And speaking of rough days, let's talk about the rough days.
Oh, girl.
What made you feel like, because everybody has that moment, what made you feel like, you know what, either maybe this isn't for me or maybe I should take a break, so what turn of events, or maybe something happened at the gig, like, for example, I worked with this fashion designer and he was all over the place. And it made me feel bad as a model because I tried everything I could to accommodate, even if they didn't even have, as a model, I do not do certain things, but I will if I believe in that person. And like I said, he had a lot going on, and I was just like, so, and it was just like, oh, this is why I don't work with certain people, like,
Facts.
But what about y'all?
I would say that there was a time when I called myself, I was just gonna do it. I was gonna, get out here. I was gonna be at this casting, be at
Yeah.
this event, be at this show, do this acting gig, and baby, when I tell you, if you are not, it is not for the weary.
It is not.
It is not for the weak.
Not
Because
at all.
if you do not have stamina and agility, I'm a mother of five. Baby, when I tell you I was tired, I was waking up like, do I even want to go? I'm like,
Right?
but the professional in me was like, you signed up for this.
This what
You
you
got to
wanted.
get up. You got to go. You got to push. And that was a time in my life where I was like, am I ready for this? Is this something that I really want to get into? Because seeing myself further on down the line, this is going to be my lifestyle. And if this is going to be my lifestyle, I have to be prepared for that. And that same day, I woke up, I got up, I got dressed, and I did it. And at the end of the day, it's not about, what you can't do in that moment. It's about just pushing through and getting it done.
Exactly.
And
Amen
that's
to
what I
that.
did. And that's when I knew, like, look, baby girl,
You got it.
we got
You
this.
got it.
We got this.
Yes, for me, it would be something a lot of pretty much every female model goes through at one point in her journey, which is running into like a series of what I call unserious ass photographers.
Oh my God.
Whether it be like she said, they
Jesus.
don't have their shit together, or the most common one with women is like they're very sexualized. They're professional. They know how to
Touch
set it
feel.
up and talk over the phone or through the contract or
part.
whatever. But then when you get in person, now they're trying to squeeze you into these other avenues. Oh, let's do an erotic photo shoot. I didn't sign up for that,
At all.
And so when I ran into like a series of those photographers, there was one in particular that reached out to my previous agent and was like, hey, we'll pay for her travel to come to some freaking city, I can't remember, but we'll pay for her travel to come here. This is what we're looking for. This is what we want. And then the catch all at the bottom was, oh, we'll provide security. She doesn't need, nope, I'm good. And as we started talking to him, like, hey, she has to bring her own security. We don't know you. We've never worked with you. It's all of these questions, comments, and concerns, which basically lets you know that, hey, he's just about to
Shady.
sexualize you. So he's either
Shady.
going to try to do something to you, or he's going to try to get you to do something that you're not comfortable with.
Correct.
And when you go through enough of those, it really makes you question, like, do I belong in this industry? I had to take a step back and be like, I'm not the problem. This is the problem. These men are the problem. They look at women and they just want to grasp and grab and be handsy and be this and that. So you really have to learn to have resilience, tough skin, and you also have to learn how to be very like aware of what is real and what is not before you get brought into a really bad situation.
Yeah, because everything that glitters isn't
It's
gold.
not
It ain't gold.
I'm just
Ooh.
saying.
And
And
you
then
said-
another issue that we all probably have faced is being invited to a casting or an event, and everybody's getting dressed and they're pulling out their garments, and everybody's like, okay, I want you in this, and I want you in this, and I want you in this, and then you're standing there like, well, what am I wearing?
Exactly.
And then come to find out, they don't really have anything in your size.
You did rehearsal and everything
you
for
can't-
nothing.
They've either brought garments that they thought would fit you, but maybe your curves, your hips, your breasts, something just isn't going to fit.
Or the designers don't come up.
It makes you kind of feel insecure because now you're feeling like, well, what's wrong with me? And
Yeah.
Exactly.
there ain't nothing wrong with you. If they didn't do their due diligence and they were supposed to pre-plan and prep and get all those things and have your measurements and take all that into account. So it's not your fault. It's just the unprofessionalism of those people. So don't ever discourage yourself if you don't fit into what they deem to be what you should be.
Yeah,
Because you
girl.
are better than that.
You are
Amen.
way better than that. And
Period.
Mariah says something about tough skin, right? So speaking of tough skin, I got another question for y'all.
Okay, let's go.
So I want to know, what being models, we post things, the magazines, the designers, the photographers post things. What are some of the best comments you guys have gotten on your photos or a magazine cover? And what are some of the worst that you've gotten? It could come on, tell it.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't recall any bad comments. I'm sure somebody has said something slick, but I don't be seeing or hearing it, so I don't care. But I typically, the people that see my work tend to support me. They tend to root for me. Some of the best comments I've seen is just like, "Oh, I knew she was a star." Like it'll be people who knew me growing up or have been longtime friends. I knew she was gonna be a star. Oh, she was made for this. She looks perfect, and I'm just like, "Oh, life is great. Thank
Life
you."
is great.
That part.
What about you?
I would have to say I agree with Mariah. I don't think I've
Oh, so damn, I'm
really.
the only one that got bad comments under their damn
Dang.
post.
I
Huh?
don't think that I've really
Oh,
gotten
okay.
any bad ones. And it's not saying that I haven't. It's just that I mean maybe I just exclude them.
You
Like
just
they don't matter to me.
register. Yeah.
Oh,
Because at the end of the day, you can only allow yourself to take in what people's opinion are,
yeah.
and either you thrive on it or you use it as a clutch. And
Wallow in it.
unfortunately, I don't use other people's opinion to define who I am.
Exactly.
So all the negative, they can keep it, they can have it, they can have their opinion. That means they're unself-aware of themselves. That means they have hate in themselves. That means they hate themselves. And that's not nothing that has to do with me. So, I let them charge it to their own head. But a lot of the good comments that I received were from people that seen my struggle, seen me growing up, seen me, persevering, really going out and taking my situation from where it was to where it is. And, I get a lot of applause and I appreciate those people for that because it helps me know that what I'm doing is not forsaken. I have so many young women, so many women reach out to me and like, you're beautiful. I don't know how you have the confidence. I don't know if I could do that. And just to hear those words come out of their mouths makes me feel very much so validated, even though I don't need anybody's validation, but it just helps me keep on going and thriving in this community.
Okay, period. Okay, see, now I feel a little left out
Uh-oh.
because I don't agree with none of that.
Well, you stand up. Stand up for it, girl.
First off, whoever called me Florida Evans on one of the posts, your
Not
mama,
Florida
your mama, that's all I'm gonna say. And I've seen a lot of negative comments, okay? But the Lord, like I said, the Lord made me go through bullying in high school so I can have thick skin and actually be, immune to it. But F y'all, for real. First off, all of the photographers, magazines I've worked with, y'all are awesome, okay? I'm still on the Florida Evans comment. Where do I look like Florida Evans? Esther Roll was a millionaire and she was a great actress and she'd still be whipping y'all asses now.
Okay. Tell them about it.
So first off, you calling me Esther Roll was nothing but manifesting riches and luxury in my life. Okay, and some of the best, and majority of the time. Wait, so don't nobody be hitting y'all up? Oh, I seen this, and you just look nasty. I be getting messages. Y'all be bold, like I don't fight. But anyway. No, but anyway, in all honesty, I get more positive than the negative. I do get negative sometimes, but that's the devil trying to mess up my flow. But I mainly get, I knew you, as you said, I knew you back in school. Oh my God, I used to want you. I used to have the biggest crush on you.
Yeah, never said shit.
Ain't never said
my
nothing.
God. Or the fake host be like, you used to be my best friend. I'd be like, girl, no, I wasn't. Like, ooh, or how do I get into modeling?
That I get that all the time. All the time.
How do I get into modeling? Not acting
Speaking
the
of
way you
that-
were.
Speaking of that, that lead like I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, you
but
good.
that leads into a real good question.
What?
How do you get into modeling?
Ooh, that's
That is
a great
big one.
question.
I think all of us literally have gotten that in our inbox. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know one model that has it, especially in the plus size community.
Yeah.
And the day that I got that, it was like, how do I answer this? Because it really isn't something that I
Purposely stepped
right like
into per se.
it was like my steps were my fumbling blocks. So
Yeah.
how do you
For
how do you
real.
egg somebody into that role if you don't even know how, you kind of like, I tripped
don't
into
know,
this.
yeah.
So I
Yeah.
don't know really how to tell you, but
I woke up one day and Jesus chose me.
that part.
Well, I'll say one thing. If you're going to become a model, you must make sure your social media is intact. You got to make sure. I'm sorry, it takes 1 to 2 years of self-investment. Please do not think that these
yes,
photographers, these
please.
agencies, or these designers are just going to pour into you
Speak.
if you're just a random Joe or Jane on the street. They're going to be like, who is you and where is your portfolio? So
That
please build your portfolio before you start applying to stuff and expecting to get paid. Okay, you have to put in 1 to 2 years of self-investment. Also, make sure you are on time to casting calls, at least 10 to 30 minutes early. Make sure you're on time. Make sure you're wearing all black. Your nails should either be clear or a nude color that matches your skin tone. That's for you. Please do not go to New York Fashion Week with a whole set on with the French tips and all that other
Baby,
stuff.
you're going home.
You're going home.
If you want to get
what would I say?
to the
You are
crib.
not a model.
Cut.
Please leave.
You're going
I
back
mean-
to the crib.
Okay.
and also it really has to do with doing your due diligence. You
Yeah.
have to
Do your
research
research.
this industry because this industry is cutthroat. They don't care. And if you already are a plus size model, which we already have to go through all of the trials and tribulations of just being that,
Exactly.
you have to realize that this industry is cutthroat. They do not care. If you do not come with all the research, the time to invest, people don't realize you have to even research the people you're investing your time into.
Yes,
because
Better
you will
Business
show
Bureau.
up thinking that you learned something and all you did was learn basics. You have to really do the work because if you
Exactly.
do not, you are going to fail yourself in this industry. You will feel lackluster. I need you to understand that there's a wide range of things that you have to know in this industry. Comp cards are very important. Most people don't even know what a comp card is.
Exactly. How do you not
You
know what
have
comp
to
cards
be
are?
able to wear, like she said, all black. If you don't have all black, it's a white top, blue jeans, nothing extra. You have to really be a plain Jane. Like you have to bring your
Fresh
presence.
cut men.
You have to have a personality. You can't be quiet, sitting in the background, and think you're going to make it to the forefront. That's not how this works.
And don't think
there's
being
so
nasty gonna
much
get you there,
more
too.
to modeling than what you think. It's a business, and at the end of the day, you have to come as a business. You ain't gonna go and start up a business and not do your due diligence there, because then you're gonna fail. So you have to do it at every inch of what it is that you're going into. If it's print, runway, anything, please make sure you do what you're supposed to.
And one thing I think that has like misconstrued people's concept of what it means to be a model is social media.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I love these little Instagram models, Instagram
Amen.
baddies, but people think that, oh, let me just go take pictures outside my house, take pictures in the stairwell, take pictures in the parking garage. And because they're cute, they're good quality, my outfit is cute, this and that, I can be a model. I can call myself a model. Or, hey, let me just put model in my bio, but I don't even have a photo on my page that represents that. And I'm just looking like, Pookie, if you knew the years of work I put into this, you would sit down and hush.
Exactly.
It's more than just taking photos and posting it on social media and saying that
Exactly.
you model. Like she said, can you show up to these casting calls as you're supposed to? Because if you walk in there with a full Instagram beatdown, they're not going to
They're gonna
cast
turn you
you.
away.
They want to see you at your most natural state. And don't think being a cocky bitch is going to get you there too. That is the quickest way to get you blacklisted and blocked. Okay?
Period.
So, I enjoyed this conversation
I did
today.
too, Pumpkin.
Your mama, whoever called me
I'm
Esther
screaming.
Roll. Your mama, whoever called me Esther Roll. But I love y'all.
I love you
Y'all are
guys.
so strong. And you will actually meet some great people in the
You will.
industry.
You will meet some
Lifelong
assholes, too.
people.
We're gonna
you know?
definitely give you guys a part 2 on this modeling conversation, just so that you can dive in more to figure out how we were able to meet, how you're able to meet other people, and just a little bit more tips and tricks to better yourself or even start becoming a model.
Take your page off
Yes.
private too if you're gonna
Oh
be
my
a
God,
model.
please.
Don't know. Everybody trying to look you up and they talking about some. Oh, you got a request.
I'm not gonna request you.
We're not gonna request you. Take
will
your
get looked
page
right over.
off private.
Amen.
Ooh. Oh well. My name is Coco,
I'm Moriah.
And this is Ash Nicole.
and this was
A
a curvy
Curvy
mindset.
Mindset.
Bye.
Bye.